so far, boys, looking good.
I already got a drive shaft tunnel from the four-wheeler.
We're gonna have a 450, and then down the road, a single turbo. What's up, everybody? Today on Cars and Cameras, we should have a rolling chassis on the DIY shifter cart 2.0. In the last episode, we took our IRS transmission engine assembly from a 2005 Arctic Cat four-wheeler, and we cut the jug and head off, and we adapted a shaft that we can run a chain to an engine. Now it's time to mate it to our go-kart. So we've just been walking around this machine for like 10 minutes, yeah, we are super impressed by just how it looks. We are going to need to get some different offset wheels or some wheel spacers, but this has so much promise, and the wheelbase is going to be identical. We're going to be able to link two of these engines together side by side and run it to our transmission. It's going to fit right underneath that factory rack. And if we use 225s, this thing is going to make 35 horsepower. It's going to be pretty peppy. So we have our transmission and rear end assembly mocked up in this go-kart, and we are so impressed by just how it looks like OEM Plus. It looks like the factory beef option. So from here, we're planning on mounting like probably two tilts and 225s side by side to run to the transmission. We figure the 225 would be a good option for packaging, and it's not going to overwhelm this transmission with just a ton of power to where we'd immediately break it. They make good power. We'll probably end up with 30 to 35 horsepower on this thing, which is going to be a pretty decent power to weight ratio. So from here, we need to figure out how to tie into from the original chassis onto our new suspension. So we're thinking of adding some chassis tubing here, from up here to here, and then from this point down to our rear end assembly. I think that'll look really cool too, and this space back here will still be usable. And then we'll also need to attach it from the front as well. So that's next to figure out, but so far, boys, looking good.
So we're going to be thinking about the future here. This has a capability of turning this cart into a four-wheel drive. There is a spot on the front of the transmission case for a drive shaft, so we've got to set this rear assembly up high enough for the drive shaft to shoot in the floorboard to the front of the cart to our future front differential. So I think we need to come up another inch or so on the front of this assembly so we can have room.
Dude,
yeah,
I already got a drive shaft tunnel from the four-wheeler, so we're perfect.
This will be perfect.
Basically, we need to raise it up and center it up, so that way in the future we can have the drive shaft running through here to the front diff up there.
boys, I got bad news.
What's up?
We're gonna have to get rid of the seat belts for the drive shaft.
Yeah, we can. Oh,
I mean, who needs seat belts?
we can relocate them to this bar.
All right, so while Charles is working on the bracing for the lower part of our assembly, I'm gonna be working on the engine plates. So I've got pretty much what we're gonna have set up right here. We have the engines spaced apart at a good distance where we can still have pull handles and chain and all that stuff out of the way. I've got these bars that I'm gonna weld up the plates solid, and then I'm going to put it up underneath there, leveled just above our shift linkages and everything, and I'm going to start welding things in place. And hopefully by the end of the day we're going to have a roller with two engines on it. That's our hope.
All right. And for what I'm doing, let's see, I gotta make an exact copy of that bar right there on the other side, and maybe some more stuff up there.
we're halfway there, guys. We have our 2 engines in place. They're looking pretty good, and they're sitting on 2 awesome heavy-duty engine plates from GoPowersports.com. Thank you, GoPowersports. They are heavy-duty. They're not going anywhere. In fact, we're going to be welding brackets to them and stuff, and they're going to actually help support the rear suspension. They're that heavy-duty. They're good plates. How you doing over there, buddy?
Oh, good. Just fitting some extra support back here.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hopefully here in a little bit we're gonna be rolling. What you think, Charles?
We still need to get the engines tied together, which we're waiting on parts for that.
Yep.
And these are just placeholders. We're thinking twin 225s would be. Dude, that just sounds. Yeah.
450.
Yeah, we're gonna have a 450, and then down the road a single turbo.
That's what John's thinking.
Feeding both engines.
Yeah, what is it? A swirly whirly get you there early?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it looks cool.
It does.
Reverse, IRS, high-low, 5-speed,
Semi-automatic.
4-wheel drive, semi-auto.
Heated seats.
It's all the bells and whistles, boys.
So these are only getting tacked in place just in case they need to be removed for our jack shaft, because that's what we were talking about just a second ago. It's going to have to go in somewhere in front of these engines and go from here to drop down there. And a lot of science. Now that we got the engines out of the way, I've notched and cleaned up what we needed to take care of. So I'm going to tack in our rear support for the lower, whatever this gearbox is. I don't know what to call these bars, but support, that's what it is, for strength. And then we're going to test the suspension. So I'm going to get to welding.
That's looking pretty legit.
Yeah. And we went with the same size tubing, 1 1/4 inch, so it hopefully looks like it's supposed to be there. Fingers crossed. Got it. We'll do some measurement, make sure they're square, and then I'll weld them in solid.
Charles, I gotta say, buddy, you did a fantastic job.
Well, don't look too close, but it's all right. So this is, now that we got the final braces for the rear suspension in,
we can actually test the suspension.
We can test the suspension. So it's basically everything's being supported on our welds right now. Oh boy.
And the engine plate is still only tacked in at the rear, so that's why that's flopping.
Yeah, we're working on a tensioner adjustment setup on that right now. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, it's got a locked rear diff, so that, for burnouts. All right, so you wanna, let's go a little higher and send it down quick.
Do the drop test?
Do the drop test.
Sweet.
Oh boy. Ready?
Yep. Hey.
It worked. It did the thing.
It did the thing.
Let's see. That'll do.
That'll do.
Yeah. I mean, we got a trailer hitch. Dude, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's like really cool, actually.
Yeah, I think this is quite a test, but
that looks good to me, man.
dude, we got independent front and rear suspension.
I know, it's fancy. We just need wider rear tires now.
Yes, absolutely. But it's funny is that the original setup is only 1 inch wider than what we have right now. So with a combination of wheel spacers and offset rims and some different, maybe just use these tires and should be good to go.
You missed the suspension test, dude.
Oh! I did.
Hey, ready?
No.
Get your fingers out of there. Get your fingers out of there.
It's happening, bud.
It's got rebound.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, that's
Really good.
I mean, and look.
IRS.
Oh, we're picking up a front wheel.
That is awesome.
That is cool.
Good job, guys. Good job.
All right, so what are you working on?
I'm adding the little strut bar here for. I'm calling it a strut bar. It's really going to be for the engine
That was a precise
plate.
fit there.
Yeah, engine plate mounting. That's going to keep the engine plate from moving side to side, and it allows just to go up and down for chain tensioning.
We basically have a strut that's going in the bolt holes of the existing
Suspension.
where the rear suspension bolted onto. And we're going to weld some slotted tabs onto that. So we're going to be able to raise and lower the
Engine plate.
the engine plates to tension our chain. Just a little bit. Like a half an inch.
Because I'm assuming the engine's moving back is going to tension the chains to the jack shaft, but this is going to tension the chain from the jack shaft to the transmission.
Yep.
All right, now I'm caught up.
So, all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. We got the four-wheeler rear half welded into place. We got these nice bars that we can like paint the same color as the go-kart. We got the engine plate in. We got the engines sitting in place.
The brakes work.
Got the brakes working. That's right. This thing has turned out pretty awesome. I think it has turned out way better than I thought it was going to turn out. To tell you the truth, I ain't gonna lie. And I guess next video we're going to be installing a jack shaft, working on the shifters, the high-low range. There's like 3 shifters. There's forward and reverse shifter. There's high and low range. And then there's the shifter, the 5-speed semi-automatic shifter. So
and it's going to be pretty cool because the original like forward, neutral, reverse shifter in this, I think we're going to be able to use.
Yeah, we can do that for the forward and reverse, which is awesome.
Yep.
We just got to figure a shifter for the 5-speed and stuff. It turned out pretty good.
And you know what? There's even something for the future. I'm not going to talk about it, but we've got an oil pump, and it pumps oil through here. We might have to put something in the middle that warms it up.
Yeah, we'll find out. So anyhow, that's it for this video, guys. Make sure you like the video if you really liked it, and leave a comment and let us know what you'd like to see on this. All the parts that we put on this from Go Power Sports, there will be links in the description. Charles, you got anything to say?
I'm ready to drive this thing, man. I can't wait.
Maybe that'll be in the next video. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all later.
So we got an update on our lathe. It was not cutting great the other day in that episode, and it ultimately came down to having to tighten up the clutches within the machine. So it started cutting great. We started getting these beautiful chips like you see here. And then all of a sudden it started making a terrible noise. Check it out. All right, so the power's on, and for example, here we go. So, our hunch is that either the electric motor in the lathe is bad or our phase converter has gone wrong. So I contacted the electrician. He's going to come check it out. Hopefully it's only the phase converter, because this is originally a 3-phase machine and the building only has single-phase power. So that would certainly be cheaper to replace than all the electronics in the lathe. When it broke, we were making this fixture right here. This is a piece that we can bolt a Tillotson Predator cylinder head to and basically face the head down. So we can basically shave a head, not on a belt sander, but on a lathe, and get a good machine finish, and we can know exactly how much we're taking off. So pretty exciting little piece we're making there. Hopefully we're gonna get this thing back up and running soon, but wanted to give you guys a status update on the lathe. We've been putting in a lot of work on the Opal, and we have, of course, the shifter cart coming along well as well. So thank y'all for watching. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up button. We'll see you next time.
What you thinking?
Yeah, you don't have to have that rolling, man.
Okay.
I wasn't ready for camera. So, what all? So we're just trying to make this thing for this video roller. We still rolling?